So the other day I watched Chronicle for the first time.
Mother is dead and it is your fault!
And I loved it. It really tickled my pickle. So I had to make a video on it.
No, you're drunk.
This is Andrew. He's a bit of a loser and doesn't have many friends. He gets bullied at school. He's probably gotten the beef stew treatment once or twice. His dad is a drunk who likes to beat the snot out of him, and his mom is dying and they can't really afford her medication. His life is kinda shitty. But hey, on the bright side, he just bought a camera and he decides to record everything going forward. And I mean everything. Andrew gets picked up by his cousin Matt, who gives him a ride to school. Matt's like, "What the f is up with the camera? What's going on here?"
I'm filming things now.
Fair enough. Andrew gets to school and walks around while videoing everything like a bit of a creeper, and I honestly feel bad for this guy. He gets told he's being creepy by this cheerleader.
Could you not videotape us, please? It's really creepy.
He eats a couple open hand juicers while getting bullied, and they even break his camera. What a bunch of losers. On the way back home from school, Matt tells Andrew that he's kinda lame, so instead of spending his night holding hog, he should come out to this rager of a party that he's going to later that night. Andrew tells him he'll think about it. But after getting home and getting his ass beat by his dad, he decided maybe he should go out to that party. While at the party, Andrew is again recording everything like a little weirdo when he meets a hot blonde who is also recording everything like a little weirdo. But it's for her blog and she's a hot blonde, so it's less weird I guess and nobody bats an eye. Matt comes in out of nowhere and tries to lay down some game, but he fails miserably.
Widespread validation. I'm not wanting to clamor to be cool, you know?
That shit genuinely hurt my soul. Andrew then starts getting bullied again, but by this guy because he thought Andrew was filming his girlfriend. I mean, Andrew was totally filming his girlfriend. He's zooming in on that shit and everything, but that's besides the point. He gets verbally abused, and then the guy dumps his drink on the camera, so Andrew goes outside and cries for a minute. Maybe even two. While crying, we meet the one they call Steve.
Okay, I'm Steve.
We saw Steve's face earlier when Andrew was filming the school. He's running for senior class president and there were flyers absolutely everywhere. Steve tells Andrew that Matt and him were hanging out and found something really cool, and he wants Andrew to come by and film it. For being the popular kid, Steve's actually chill as fuck. They get to the cool thing that Steve was talking about, and it's a massive hole in the ground that's making a staticky noise.
What?
And obviously, they've got to explore that shit. They get down and find this big, blue, glowing nest. And after Steve puts paws on it, things take a sharp left turn. It turns red, they all start bleeding from the nose, and the camera shuts off. Spooky. When the camera cuts back on, we find out all three of them gain telekinesis from the glowing rock thing. And what better way to test it out than throwing a baseball at each other? Matt throws an absolute piss missile at Andrew, but instead of getting concussed, he's able to stop it midair with his new powers. They also just chill out and use their powers to build Legos.
Sick.
The reason this film is so great is because a majority of it shows what would happen if three teenage friends just randomly got telekinesis powers. You wouldn't go around Superman saving the day. You'd probably just use them to goof around, impress people, and pull chicks, which is exactly what happens in this movie. Well, for the most part. At lunch, Matt tells the gang that he thinks their telekinesis is like a muscle. Right now, they can only lift small objects without getting a major nosebleed. But if they work it out, they could probably start moving and lifting heavier things easier. Sounds legit, so they go and work it out. They go to a store and just go on a spree of messing with strangers. They pull this lady's card away from her. They scare the socks off this girl with the teddy bear.
What you looking at, girl? Stay in school.
Matt tries to pull a guy's gum out of his mouth mid-chew. It didn't go well. Then, at a restaurant, they figure out that if they think there's a barrier covering them, then they're basically invulnerable.
Oh, snap.
Telekinesis has to be the coolest superpower of all time. Then, after messing with the waiters who don't get paid enough for this shit, they hit up the parking lot and Steve moves a car from one parking spot to another, which is the biggest object they've ever moved. And when the lady comes back out to look for her car, they catch a serious case of the giggles. After this, things start going downhill. On the way home from the store, there's a truck riding them and honking at them. Andrew tries to test his powers and move the truck a little bit, but he accidentally sends the truck off the road and into the ditch. They get out and get to the truck, but their luck just keeps getting worse when they find it's knuckle deep in water. Steve dives in the water and eventually pulls the guy out and drags him to safety. After this, they're all pretty pissed at Andrew and decide to come up with some rules. Rule number 1, no using their powers on living beings. Rule number 2, don't use them when you're angry. Rule number 3, no using your powers in public. Fair enough. They eventually get over this incident, and the next day, Andrew and Matt meet Steve and find him flying in the air. He learned to use his telekinesis to fly. Again, this power is cool as f***. After eating dirt a couple times, they eventually all learn to fly.
Holy crap, dude!
I am doing it!
Naturally, once you learn you can fly, you've got to take it for a spin. So they fly through the air and throw a football around while in the sky. They then nearly get hit by a plane and Steve almost dies until Andrew swoops in to save him.
You saved my life! You saved my life!
This is great, so uplifting and happy, surely nothing could go wrong, right? The bros do some more broing and find out that Andrew has never laid down some pipe. And Steve is like, dude, that's completely unacceptable. Just remember this for later. The next day, Matt swings by Cassie's. If you don't remember, this was the hot blonde girl who was videoing at the function. Matt pretty much just fumbles the bag yet again, but I mean, he tried his best. Cassie was low-key being a dick for no reason anyways. Meanwhile, over on the other side of the city, Andrew and Steve are having a much better time. They're chilling on top of this building and just having some more bro time. 71.3% of this film is just three bros being bros and broing down. And I'm down for it. You might be wondering how this is being videoed since this is found footage and no one is holding the camera. They have telekinesis. The camera's floating. Steve is like, dude, I can't believe you never done it with a chick. You need to get your winky stinky. You should come and do the talent show with me. There's going to be tons of chicks there, and when they see your talent, they're going to be jumping all over you. But Andrew tells Steve he doesn't have any talents, and Steve is like,
are you sure about that?
Andrew gets suited and booted, bro's looking fly, and on the way out, his dad is being a dick yet again.
Sneaking around my house smiling? I'm on to your shit. Go fuck yourself.
Boom, we're at the talent show. Cassie finds Matt, and Matt actually plays it better this time, which, good for him, because if he didn't dial in, I was going to swoop in and take that meal for myself, because Cassie's kind of bad. For real.
Finger licking good special.
Steve comes out, and the crowd is eating out of his hand. They love him. Andrew comes out, crickets.
Man, come on, make some noise. That's not loud enough.
And you're on.
Oh, brother, this guy stinks!
But that's fine, because Andrew can do this.
No way!
This is the same type of magic that would happen in Now You See Me. Like, come on. Those fools had powers, man. Andrew continues to light up the stage, and the crowd was absolutely loving it. Andrew is becoming popular. It can only go up from here, right? After the talent show, Steve invites Andrew to a massive party, and unlike last time where he was a loser and nobody knows him, at this party, he's the man of the hour. Everyone is excited to see him, and he even meets this chick who seems to really like him. Now, I'm all for redheads. I live by the saying, if the roof is rusted, the basement's flooded, but this chick is not it, I'm gonna be honest. She's not even a real redhead. That shit's hella dyed. Is her hair even red? It might actually be pink. I don't know. Either way, Andrew plays some Pong and absolutely tears it up. Just another reason that telekinesis is the best power. You can pretty much be the best at literally everything. This must have gotten Pink Hair Girl going because the next thing we see is Steve telling the camera that Andrew's upstairs.
Andrew's upstairs with the girl with the pink hair.
It's confirmed she had pink hair. It's Matt's lucky day too because Cassie swings by and she's totally digging him. Look at that smirk. Look at those eyes. The eyes never lie.
The eyes, Chico. They never lie.
The camera gets tossed to Steve, and Steve is about to go check on Andrew and see how it's going with the pink-haired girl. Unfortunately, it's not going well. Before they could get after it, Andrew must have blew chunks all over her and was not happy when Steve was joking about it.
You think this is funny? No, I'm not laughing.
Get out!
It's downhill from here. Next, we get this scene where the camera's propped up on the dresser, and in the background, you hear Andrew's mom screaming in pain, and you hear Andrew yelling for his dad to get the medication. But while that happens, Andrew's dad is rummaging through his room for no real reason. The dad then finds the camera. Andrew's cooked. Andrew's dad berates Andrew and calls him selfish for having a $500 camera while their mom is dying and needs meds. Pretty hypocritical coming from the man of the house who doesn't work and blows money on alcohol. But hey, what do I know? He also tells Andrew that he found the camera and went through some of the footage.
What did you see?
Just you being a loser.
Father of the year. The dad continues to rain fire on Andrew until Andrew finally snaps and talks back. Then things get violent. The dad lands a clean juicer to Andrew's lips, but Andrew gets up and uses his powers to slam Pops into the wall and then sends him flying. Good, fuck that guy. Andrew's obviously emotional after all this, so he takes a little breather in the sky. Steve finds him because they have this weird connection thing. When one of them is in trouble or angry, the others can feel it. You'll need to know that for later. Steve is a legit, solid friend and tells Andrew it's not safe to be up here and he should come back down and calm down. And he's basically just telling Andrew he knows what he's going through and he can help him. But Andrew was too far gone and this only pisses him off even more and he eventually ends up killing Steve.
Please!
At the funeral, Matt confronts Andrew and tells him he felt there was something wrong last night and there was no recorded lightning last night, so how was Steve struck by lightning? And why was he in the middle of nowhere? In the middle of the night? Suspicious. For anyone wondering, it's confirmed that Andrew did kill Steve when Andrew told Steve he was sorry at his grave.
Please believe me, Steve. I lost control. I'm so sorry.
At this point in the film, I'm in a bit of a pickle because Andrew didn't mean to kill Steve and we saw what Andrew's life is like and his dad is a piece of shit, but like, Andrew killed Steve. And Steve was cool, man. Steve was cool. Back at school, Andrew's now being bullied for yakking on pink hair girl, but Andrew has powers this time around, so he uses them to pull out this guy's teeth. And then we get a post-teeth pull interview with Andrew telling us how he pulled the teeth out so cleanly. Andrew's really starting to give off some serial killer vibes. We also get a scene where Andrew talks about how he's been reading about evolution and natural selection and how apex predators don't feel bad for killing prey. He's basically on his Homelander arc and saying he shouldn't feel bad for these peasant humans because he's above them. He can also now crush a car easily with no nosebleed. This man is losing it. Alright, so here's what happens next. Andrew is like, fuck this, my mom is dying, I need money for medication, and I have superpowers. Let's go rob some shit. He finds some people on the block, asks them politely for their money, and when they don't cough it up, he packs them up one by one and takes their lunch money. He counts it up, not enough. He then goes to a gas station and robs this place too. Unfortunately, the man behind the counter is packing heat, but when he comes out to shoot, Andrew moves the gun, and well, this happens. Man's got the Freddy Krueger treatment. But again here, I don't really know how to feel, because he robbed bad people and then robbed a gas station, but he did it to afford his mom's medication. It's not like he was just going on a spree of crimes for no reason or anything. At the hospital, Andrew's dad visits and tells him his mother died. And I'm like, oh man, you know what, maybe the dad isn't so bad.
You selfish asshole. This is your fault!
Never mind. This guy actually somehow made this about Andrew and made it Andrew's fault. The dad then starts screaming at Andrew, which wakes Andrew up, and at this point, Andrew completely snaps. I mentioned earlier that the three friends were connected in a way, and as soon as Andrew snaps, Matt's nose opens up like the elevator doors opening in The Shining, and he hears Andrew in his head. Matt explains to Cassie what's going on, and they take her car to try and find and help Andrew. When they pull up to the hospital, we see Andrew holding his pops like a rag doll and then dropping him, but Matt swoops in to save him, and then Andrew dips out. So, they hop back at the car and try to find him and nearly get taken out by this helicopter, this cop gets sent into space, and then Andrew lifts the car up. Shit has really went from 0 to 100. Andrew brings the car up towards him and we see him floating there menacingly. Andrew then drops the car, but luckily Matt is able to get out and swings in to save Cassie before the car hits the ground and explodes. And shout out to Cassie, she's still videoing everything and keeping it steady. Matt flies back up to Andrew and tries to calm him down, but that's not working. Matt somehow survives this, by the way. Maybe he quickly slapped on his telekinesis barrier, I don't know. While Andrew is distracted, Matt comes in, tackles him through a bank and into the road. They get up and continue scrapping. Andrew starts launching cars at him, and he eventually smacks this light and gets dropped. That's embarrassing. Matt's a better friend than me because as soon as Andrew tried to drop the car with me inside it, or smack me with the bus would have really done it. I'm going for the kill. But he still hasn't given up, and he tried helping Andrew once again. The cops pull up, and before they can do anything, Andrew sends them flying and then flies away. But he gets tackled mid-air by Matt yet again, and again, they land on the pavement. SWAT pulls up this time, and they shoot at Andrew, but Andrew's able to stop all the bullets and freeze them mid-air, and then send the cops flying. He then pretty much just starts going Super Saiyan. Matt screams, begs, and pleads for Andrew to stop and just give this all up, but eventually he realizes the only way to stop Andrew and stop him from killing more people is to kill him. So he does. So yeah, that was Chronicle. Let me know your thoughts on this in the comments below, and also let me know what videos you guys want to see next. But that's all I've got for you guys today, so I'll see you in the next one.